Prime time local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
A Lloydminster car dealership is celebrating 3 decades in our city this month. Silverwood Toyota has been marking the occasion for the past few weeks with specials and discounts, even putting on barbecues, including one held today, as a way to show their appreciation to the community.
It's pretty important to us, pretty special. 30 years in any city or town, I think it's a big deal. So it's mostly just a customer appreciation event, just an opportunity to give back a little bit, have some fun, get to meet some people that don't always come back to the store every day.
Staff at Silverwood Toyota say the Lloydminster community has been very welcoming over the last 30 years.
The community's been super supportive to the dealership and everything we do, and I find tons of people I speak to really like to buy local and support local, and it's a fantastic community to be part of.
A Lloydminster Bobcats coaches meet and greet took place yesterday afternoon, where people from all across Lloyd gathered to see the updated coaching staff for the Bobcats' upcoming season. People were able to stop by and ask questions to see what direction the team is heading.
Jeff and I have had a chance to sit down and talk through some of the things that we want to accomplish as a coaching staff, and again, just meeting the rest of the staff. It's a fantastic group of people here, and everybody's looking at the same things and focusing on the same goals. So we're all just excited to get things underway.
On top of Raihela joining for his first year, the team has returning staff members ready to make a mark on the upcoming season.
For me and Brad, I think we're just, we want to be a team that's hard to play against. We're quick, we're in your face, we're a blue collar team. I think, that's what Lloyd stands for, is a blue collar team that's high paced, a little bit not bullies out there, but we want to play hard, right? And with that, we want to have skill inside of that. And I think a lot of the development side, as far as the skill work we're going to be doing and making these kids better and reaching their potential.
The Lloydminster Bobcats will hit the ice for training camp at the end of August. And now let's check in once again with Shelby Clark for another look at weather.
Thanks again there, Mr. Jace Mackey. Yes, now taking an extended look at your weather forecast. We'll be starting off with our central zone of the provinces, and we have warmed up slightly in some of these areas compared to what we have been seeing throughout the week. We were kind of looking at those mid-20 temperatures yesterday, but now we are starting to get closer to that 30-degree mark. We're looking at 28 in Edmonton, so they are probably the closest on this side. The rest are just sitting around 26 to 27 degrees, so we do still have some scorchers in effect. 24-25 down in Rocky Mountain House and Red Deer, while Cold Lake is matching with us here in the Border City just at 26 degrees, and over in Athabasca, but we are definitely seeing some warm days, especially for those spots on our Alberta side, so hopefully everybody's enjoying it. Switching over to our Saskatchewan side, Meadow Lake seems to have not gotten the memo. They are just sitting at 19, so they haven't even been reaching that 20-degree mark. The rest are well past it, reaching those mid-20s, getting closer to those 30s. 26 in both Prince Albert and North Battleford, while it is 27 over in Melfort, and down to Saskatoon, just reaching 28 in Saskatoon, so they are looking at the warmest condition on the Saskatchewan side. Going over to our northern zone, they have warmed up slightly as well, kind of matching with us, but they are kind of seeing just those mid-20s for the warmest conditions. Uranium City is looking at the warmest there at 26. The rest are just sitting around 24 and 25. And then we have 22 in Wollaston Lake, as they are starting to cool down slightly from what they have been seeing throughout the week. And Stony Rapids is definitely the coolest now, just sitting at 16. So Stony Rapids is looking at the coolest condition on our Saskatchewan side indeed. Going over to our Alberta side here to check them out. So they are even looking at some warmer conditions compared to our central area. 29 degrees over in Peace River, so they are just under that 30-degree mark, and most of these spots are just sitting at 28. So they definitely have some scorchers right now in these areas in our northern zone, and they have that heat warning in effect. We're looking at 27 in Fort McMurray, while it's 25 down in Slave Lake. So please make sure you are drinking lots of water, like I always say, and using that sunscreen, because we are seeing some very hot days. Going over to our southern zone, no competition here. They have that extreme heat warning in effect for sure. 32, 33, especially down in Lethbridge and Medicine Hat. They are continuing to see the warmest conditions compared to the rest of these areas as we go on through the summer season, and we kind of expected that. They usually do. So they are already starting off this nice warm pattern with 32, 33. So please make sure you are being safe over there. Looking at 28 in both Calgary and Coronation, and just 29 over in Banff. So now Banff has warmed up back to its normal very warm conditions, as they were seeing some cool conditions a couple weeks ago. And going over to our Saskatchewan side here to check them out, they also are seeing some of that heat warning in effect. 29 degrees in most of these spots, while there's 30 now in Moose Jaw. So they do have that extreme heat warning, and then we're looking at 27 and 28 for both Kindersley and Yorkton. So definitely some scorchers on the board. Hopefully everybody is enjoying it, but also being safe. That is top priority. But now looking at some overnight evening lows on this list, and another list too in our surrounding area for what we can expect for tonight. We will be looking at those double digits once again. A low of 11, Meadow Lake will be expecting tonight, while most spots will be expecting a low of 14 in Bonnyville and Provost. A low of 12, Paradise Hill will be seeing tonight, and Isla Crosse will be expecting the warmest evening once again with a low of 15. So it's kind of funny seeing these temperatures for our evening lows. Of course, this warms up as we are seeing some nicer daytime highs, but it's almost like, you know, our winter season. We're kind of seeing our evening low temperatures now, like what we would see in our winter season on those cold days. So what a coincidence. But yeah, we are going to be expecting those double digits in most of these spots. More of a clear and calm night. And on this list as well, they also will be looking at those double digits with a low of 12 in Unity, and the rest will be expecting a low of 13 to 14. We won't be seeing a high chance of precipitation on this list either for tonight, so that's unfortunate. I know we all would like to get a little bit more rainfall to kind of help balance things out, but you know, hopefully we will later on next week. Looking at our hourly forecast for Saturday here in the border city, we will be seeing another warm day, kind of matching with what we saw today for our daytime high in our mid-afternoon, around 24, 25 degrees expected. So please make sure to be safe out there and enjoy it, because once we pass by Saturday into our Sunday to end off this weekend, we will be looking at 26. So we got some scorchers for the weekend, and we will be definitely heating up as we head into next week with Monday and Tuesday at 29 and 28. So be prepared. We have some extremely warm conditions ahead into next week here in the border city. And that's all I have for now. Jace Mackey will have our news coming up after the break.
I'm very happy to be joined here today with Bill Heesing. He is the Assistant Fire Chief for the Lloydminster Fire Department. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Oh, thank you for having us.
Of course. So recently, the fire department received a donation from Northern Factory Workwear of 450 teddy bears. Tell me a little bit about what that donation was and how that is going to help with you guys when you're going on calls.
No, absolutely. So traditionally, fire departments, emergency services, whether it's fire, police, or ambulance, carry what they call trauma teddies. Other people have different names for them on their response vehicles, whether it's fire trucks, police cars, ambulances. And when you respond to something that involves small children or young people, you provide them a teddy bear. That teddy bear provides them that comfort, that builds the trust with the first responders, and the young child builds the trust with the parents of the young child or the guardians that, you know, we're here to help. We want the best for your child, and it helps the children get through these traumatic incidences. It builds that trust with us, and it's very important. So we are very honored and privileged to work with Northern Factory Workwear and having this donation provided to us. So,
which is awesome. And so how did this donation come about, and how did you guys get involved with Northern Factory Workwear to receive this donation?
So previously we had the odd bears on our trucks, and the supplies were running out, and the company that previously supplied them may not be in town. We thought it was time to kind of refresh the program and reach out to sponsorship within our community. So, you know, buying local, again, this helps them provide to organizations like they did. So we approached our contact at Northern Factory Workwear, and they were excited from day one. They were all over it. They wanted to be involved, even down to the day that the bears got delivered. So 20 some boxes of bears in their warehouse, and all the employees, when I went in to pick them up, they were so excited. Well, they're, bears look so cute. There's red ones, there's white ones, there's blue ones, So, from the initial get-go, Northern Factory Workwear was very supportive of the program, and we look forward to working with them through this, right? So it's pretty cool.
It's amazing that you guys were able to receive so many in the donation. No matter what call you guys go on, when it involves children, it's always very hard to deal with, and it's very hard to get through. How have you seen the Trauma Teddies work with children that are there on call and have experienced something traumatic?
It eases the child, right? So again, as first responders, some of us are fathers, some of us are grandfathers. We have our own children that we've raised, and whenever something happens to a child, it tears at our heartstrings. It has a soft spot for us. So providing these teddy bears, getting down to that child's level and connecting with the child on scene, it provides that the ability for us as first responders to connect with that child, and for that child who is witnessing or may have seen something or involved in something that's very stressful for them. It allows them to hold on to something that's plush and soft, and maybe give it a hug and squeeze it. We can have some jokes with it. It works quite well. We actually put them on the trucks probably a day or two after we got them. We carry them on 3 of our apparatus right now, and we had a vehicle accident on Highway 16 that Sunday. 2 weeks ago, whenever that may have been, and there was children involved in an accident. So we were able to give them out of that accident, and it put the kids at ease right away that were involved in the accident. They weren't seriously hurt, of course, but again, it allows them to focus on something different than what might be the noise and everything else around them that might be happening. So
yes, I have seen that, stuffed animals really do help no matter in what situation. I know as a child, I loved having stuffed animals because it just gives you that kind of comfort to just hold on to. If anybody in the community sees this and would like to donate bears or teddies or stuffed animals like that, can they still do so? And if so, where can they go to donate?
As much as we would love to take those donations in to the fire department and use those donations, the idea of this program was to be a focus of the size, right? So these bears are no bigger than the size of my hand. They're a consistent size. Like I said, they got blue t-shirts, white t-shirts, red t-shirts. So, and with children, if you give a child a large teddy bear and you give somebody else a small teddy bear, right? Now you've just made a stressful situation even more stressful, right? So at this time, if they have spare teddy bears in their house or plush animals, maybe the local thrift stores or maybe the Salvation Army or those types of places may be able to take them in. I'm not sure how their donation programs work, but for the fire department right now, we're trying to stick with this Northern Factory Workwear program. Again, it's the consistent size. There's no mismatching, right? And they're small enough that we can carry them. We got a couple sports bags that we carry 6 or 7 in the trucks with us. So we're not carrying the big bears that you would have won at the fair last week, trying to seatbelt them into the back seat of the fire truck. We can put these bears in a sports bag in a compartment, and they're ready to go. If we use them on a call, we have a cupboard full of them, and we would just refill the bag, put them back on the truck. So yeah, unfortunately, I would say no to that request, but we would definitely encourage people, if they do have them in their house, there might be other people that might use them with other organizations within the city. So,
well, thank you so much for joining me today, and I'm really happy that this partnership and this project with Northern Factory Workwear is working out, and you guys have a ton of teddy bears to give out when you need to. So thank you so much for joining me.
Absolutely. Thank you, Abby. Thank you for having us and recognizing this program.
It's fair season in our area, and coming up on Thursday, that's going to be the start of the Vermilion Fair. It starts with a huge parade on Thursday morning. The theme this year is Dust, Rust, or Bust. And Thursday is the first full day of the fair, and there's so many different livestock shows, including the open sheep show. There's also going to be a heavy horse harness show. And coming up that evening, entertaining on the grandstand, it's going to be Clayton Bellamy. And there's also live entertainment from Jordan Pollard and Braden King. And that's just day one of the fair in Vermilion. For all the details and the full schedule, go online, vermilionag.ca. The fair in Vermilion gets underway on Thursday. And one of the biggest parties of the summer, it's getting closer. The Paradise Hills Summer Bash featuring Corb Lund is coming up on August 12th. But don't miss out on your chance to have a really fun night out. Get your tickets now at paradisehillcommunitycenter.com. Well, whatever you choose to do this weekend, we hope you stay safe and stay healthy.
What's Happening is brought to you by Northern Factory Workwear, Circle Drive East, Saskatoon, and Highway 17 South, Lloydminster.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery, downtown Lloydminster.
Thank you to everybody for joining us for this week's entertainment panel. And we are starting off here in studio.
Yes, in studio. Our original studio is still a little bit out of commission, but these couches are extremely comfortable, so I'm not complaining about
this is
a different
still a
location.
cute setup and comfy couches. So hopefully everybody is still happy. It is, you know, Friday.
Yes.
Best panel of the week.
Of course, we have to say it because it's true.
Yeah, studio's not needed. It's just us.
It's just us. You just need us. Doesn't matter where we are. You get your entertainment news and enjoy the weekend because it's Friday. So it just adds to just the epic day that Fridays bring.
I agree. I agree. And we are going to speak on some of these movies that came out, you know, recently. So they still have been playing in our local May Cinema 6 and everywhere else. But we're going to speak a little bit on some of the reviews and, you know, ratings that they've been getting. And starting off, we got Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning Part 1. And wow, that is a banger, it seems like. It is a lot of good reviews there.
Yep. It's certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes with 96%.
They got some high ratings.
Yes, and then a 94 audience rating. In Canada and the US, it brought in about $95.8 million, $169 million from other territories, and $264.8 million worldwide. So it is definitely a box office success. And some of the reviews, the majority of them, audience reviews that I was reading, all 5, 4.5, 4 stars. There were a couple 1-star reviews. It has brought a lot of people to the theater.
Yeah, and it seems like it's got some great action in it. And of course, we got like with Tom Cruise, he does a lot of his own stunts. So I think a lot of people find that impressive. But it's good to know that it is still going strong and it's like definitely a classic franchise. So that's good to hear, and it should be still playing here at our local May Cinema 6. So if you want to check it out, you still got time.
Yes.
But we got something else that also was out kind of recently, and this one is definitely kind of I think there is some action in it, but I mean, it's more of a comedy.
Yes.
And we got Joyride, and this one is good to know the ratings and the reviews it's gotten so far, because it kind of was like an original idea in a way, and you know, it had a lot strong representation, and you know, it had like some newer actors in it as well, and just kind of like something new. So you know, that's always kind of a risk that we've brought up before. But Joyride's got some great reviews so far. It's got 92 critic and 81 audience. So I think that's pretty promising.
It's really good, and that critic rating is also makes it certified fresh as well, which is fantastic, especially like you said, with a new idea, new concept of comedy. Basically, the consensus on the audience reviews was extremely funny. However, very crude humor.
Yeah.
So it could be quite offensive to some people. So if you have the humor for this type of movie, it's definitely going to be right up your alley, and that's what a lot of the comments say.
It's good to know that we're getting some more female-driven comedies out there, because we can relate a little bit more. You can laugh, and you kind of see how funny some of these actors are out there instead of you know, having funny actors. I think it's really good to know how strong it's been going in the theaters, and you know, we could still check it out now at our local May Cinema 6. But speaking of our local cinema, we're going to toss it over to us
at our local May Cinema 6 to speak about some good ones. That'll be coming out
Very
now
exciting.
this weekend, and I think we all know what we're talking about,
Yeah.
so let's go to us. And we are here once again at May Cinema 6, our local theater. Thank you everybody for joining us.
Yes, thank you. We love being here, and I think it's really working out.
Yeah.
You know, the last few times that we've been here, I think this is a great addition to our panel. And
Yeah. We, of course, were already kind of talking about the ratings and everything that Mission Impossible and Joyride brought in, but now we're going to talk about some huge movies coming out this weekend, coming out tonight, pretty much. This is probably the biggest talked about set of movies that have been coming out for this year, I want to say. And we haven't even said the titles yet, but we got Barbie and Oppenheimer. I think from what you can already tell what we're saying, everybody has to know about this already. So this is a huge thing. This is a huge thing. We got them playing, of course, here at this local theater. But, you know, starting off, I would say maybe the Barbie.
Yes, Greta Gerwig is back. Many people will know her from directing Little Women. She's definitely come up in the last few years as a very well-respected director, and I think she's fantastic. Yeah, she directed this movie. It's starring Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling, two very, very talented actors, but they're not the only people in the star-studded cast. We have America Ferrera, Simu Lee, Michael Cera, which I'm so excited to see his character in this movie, and then a ton of other stars, well-known stars.
I think the funniest jokes online are when people are kind of saying, like, you know, going to Oppenheimer for just the jokes and the silly movie, going to Barbie for real cinema and everything. Complete switch up. So I think that's going to be really good. Now, complete opposite of Barbie, that is also going to be probably a very iconic movie, is Oppenheimer.
Yes.
And many people are pumped up for this one too, and it's going to be a long run time as well.
Yes.
3 hours, I want to say.
Yes, it is about 3 hours, and it comes from another very iconic, well-established director, Christopher Nolan. But this movie, it follows American scientist J. Robert Oppenheimer, who of course is known for the development of the atomic bomb, and you know, it kind of goes through the process of him creating it. This is also another star-studded cast. We have Cillian Murphy as Oppenheimer, Emily Blunt, Matt Damon, Robert Downey Jr., and a ton of other stars, including Florence Pugh as well. Is a lot of people are buying tickets for both movies on the exact same day. So whether they see Barbie first and then Oppenheimer second, go see one, go for some lunch, go see the other, and then finish it off with some dinner.
And see some real cinema with Barbie.
Real cinema with Barbie, and then the fun, goofy Oppenheimer.
Yeah, that's good stuff. And here at our local May Cinema, we have Oppenheimer for tonight, 9:15 p.m. And then for Barbie, there's actually a couple more times, 9:20, 9:30, and 10:15. And I'm guessing, of course, with Oppenheimer, since it's longer, and with which theater it's going to be playing in, it's going to be kind of taking up a little bit more time. So make sure to check those times, because we got some good times for tonight.
Yes.
Yeah, so make sure to go check it out. But unfortunately, that's all the time we have for this week's entertainment panel. So thank you to everybody for joining us again today at your local May Cinema 6.
Now, Shelby, I know a lot of people are going to be heading down to May Cinema to see Barbie and Oppenheimer this weekend, but Edmonton, they're having Taste of Edmonton. It's on now this weekend. It's going through next weekend, and a couple high-profile guests were already enjoying their first night of the festival. CTV News spotted Premier Danielle Smith hugging what may be Alberta's most valuable donair. She then went on to taste a sample of a donair at Blowers in Grafton, their booth there. The province bought the costume back in 2015, as we heard yesterday, for a commercial against impaired driving that never aired. Now, the costume is up for auction. Bidding started earlier this week, and it's started at $50. Last time we checked, it was over $16,000. Crazy there to see.
That is crazy, and that is hilarious, just seeing her have a blast with that big donair. I think
they're out for a date together, it looks like.
I am wildly jealous. I wish we could have had a chance for him to come to the border city and be able to get a chance to get some photos and video with that donair as well.
Yeah, and well, it's making me want to go get a donair, so maybe I have to check out Tasty K's or something here in town.
Yep,
but we'll see. That's all the time we have, though, for this week's of Primetime Local News. We want to say thank you to everyone for joining us, and we'll see you again next week.